Hey Rick,
Hey Megan, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I am
Yeah,
on lockdown here with the heat wave coming, and we've got the house nice and closed up, and the air conditioner on, fans on, and we're ready. Strategic
not
planning for
bad.
the weekend.
There you go. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Just
So
not
we've got
flooding
a
out in
hot,
rain.
yeah, exactly. We have a hot topic for today,
Mm-hmm.
and you brought it up. I think it's a great topic. It's about buyers. Are buyers finally getting more options out there in the market? That's the
Yeah,
discussion
yeah,
today.
right? Yeah.
So, uh, the question is inventory. How many houses are for sale? How does that affect the buyer's options? Demand for those houses. Where is demand? We know that with rates a little bit higher and the war and uncertainty, that's definitely affected demand. And our sellers getting a little bit more flexible because their time on the market is longer than it used to be. It's not a perfect market for either buyer or seller, but it's still a market that holds a lot of opportunity.
That's more than has really in several years.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I have a screen share here. This is from Stephen Thomas's reports on housing, and this is for Orange County. So it goes through the various price range on the left column. It says market time currently, what percent of the inventory that price range encumbers, what part of the demand pool of demand, and what the market time was last year. So I would say in most of North Orange County, an average beginning home is somewhere between 750 and 1.1 million. The market time right now is 80 days. Last year it was 64 days. And so that gives you a hint that, it's a little bit more on the buyer side there. The longer that something sits on the market, then it's either started off overpriced in the first place, or there might be room for negotiating. Rick, what are you
Right.
seeing as far as what people are coming up with as far as negotiating out there?
Well, it really depends on the situation. We know that some homes are priced better than others. I think we're really past this market now where listings can, where sellers put houses in the market whatever price they want, get 10 offers. That doesn't exist anymore. So that's good news for us. It's good news for buyers, actually, because now buyers have options, which they didn't have before. We're structuring loans differently now. We have options where we personally fund the cost to give the buyer the 1% lower rate for the first year. That's doing really, really well right now. So, for example, what that means, just as an example, not based on today's rates necessarily, let's just say the note rate was 6.5%. They get 5.5% for that first 12 months of the mortgage. And so, on average, that saves our buyers around $400 to $600 a month in the first year. Beyond that, what I'm seeing a lot of right now, which we've not really seen in years, and we know this, is that we're getting sellers or sellers now offering to help more and give assistance to our home buyers with respect to paying closing costs, helping buying down the rates, and making the terms more affordable to buy their home. So that's really good news for the market right now. And this is the market we've talked about for a long time. We always like this market. It's better when buyers have options. We can do some negotiating back and forth with home buyers and home sellers, and everybody wins at the end of the day. I think that's a really healthy market.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice to have some win-wins, but there are still houses out there that are getting multiple offers.
Yeah,
It
we
just
know that.
depends on the pricing strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the price has to match the presentation, location, condition of the
Sure.
property, um,
Mm-hmm.
and that sort of thing. Let me blow this up here. Perfect. I'm gonna share. Mhm. So this graph here shows listings in Orange County year over year, and the green line is 2017 to 2019. So obviously there were a lot more homes for sale. In 2023 is the blue line; it goes all the way down here.
And that's active
2024,
listings. Those are listings
yeah,
you're saying? Okay.
Yeah, active inventory year over year. So you can see we're right in the middle. So we're not the highest, we're not the lowest, which also coincides with what we're saying right now about having kind of a more even market, right?
Yeah, it's more balanced. Yeah, I mean, you look at the
Yeah,
inventory. People think there's more in the market, and that's true, but it's more of a healthy market. We know for a fact, just like 3% mortgage rates were not the market. Neither is
right,
Orange County having only 2,000 homes available. That's not the market
right,
either. So I think we're getting more toward that middle now, which is good news.
yeah, exactly. So, for a seller, knowing kind of what is going on in the market, um, you should be very, very careful about choosing your comparable sales and not getting too crazy about what you're going to list your house for. Pay very close attention because you get only one chance to make a first impression. So your price better be good because you're going to get the majority of buyers that are looking for your home in the first 2 weeks of your listing. But if your price too high, those buyers are not going to come. They're buyers that are looking in a higher price range and they're comparing your house to those houses. It's just going to backfire on you.
Yeah, I've seen that too, for sure.
And for buyers,
Hmm.
do the comparable sales with your realtor, see kind of what the trends are. Go to the open house that weekend, see how busy it is, how many people are there. Try to get a vibe for it, and then you can place your best offer. And always, your realtor should always be talking to the listing agent and finding out, what's the scoop, what's the story,
Sure.
what do they expect it to sell for, that sort of thing, and see if they had a strategy behind what they did plan on when they launched that property. So let's
Good
see
idea.
here. Um, on our outline today, what we were going to discuss, one of the points was making affordability feel solvable, giving people
Hmm.
hope about making their house payment affordable. And what do you say about that, Rick?
I think that's a perfect point because there's more options now for home buyers. We've got a couple of programs, and one in particular that actually prices loans, generally speaking, better than the average market price right now. So we're able to get to lower rates. Even though people think the rates are high, they're really good rates, but we get even lower than that. So that's a permanent rate. That's good for a long time. We're doing the free buy down for the first 12 months, 1% lower rates. There's other opportunities out there. So it's really not so much about the price of the house, it's really about the payment. So if the payment is comfortable and the house makes sense, that's the best time to buy. This is what I like about this market because before it was multiple offers, 20, 30, 100,000 that we're asking, no options, make a quick decision. Now
Yeah.
buyers have a little bit more time. If the house is priced right, you're still going to get attractive offers and multiple offers perhaps. But now, to your point, there's now some time to kind of take a step back, think about, okay, what does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
What are the ways we can look at to structure that payment that fits that particular scenario so that the buyer feels comfortable moving forward? And they don't have to do it in a 2 hour process. They can maybe do some advanced planning. We talk about this a lot. The most prepared buyers win. So
Mm.
we talk about this planning in advance now. So we can look at those options. If a buyer's in a certain price range, we'll look at that price range and go, look, here's the options. And based on the scenario with that seller, here's what we can do to make an offer work. And so there's buyers have options now, which I think is really
Mm-hmm.
healthy for the market.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Yeah, and for sellers, just once again, make sure that you have clearly positioned yourself to get as much activity as you want. And buyers love value, and they have done their research. Buyers are sharp.
Yeah.
There's the internet now. They know what's valuable, what's not valuable. So you just
And
got
there's
to get them
AI.
in the door.
I
Exactly.
talk to a lot of
Now,
buyers all the time. And they have their questions based on the AI searches, and
yeah,
that's okay too.
yeah, exactly. And then, buyers might be feeling like, well, geez, is the market going to improve? Is this really even a good time to buy? And I think that our uh, advice for people is that if you can qualify, you can afford it, it's a payment that you're comfortable with, it's a house that you love, then that's the right time to buy. And timing the market, if interest rates go up, prices go down, you're still paying more for the house because the interest rate's up. So, just get yourself qualified, get a plan together, and be ready for the right house to come up.
That's solid guidance. There's no way to time the market. It's like trying to time the stock market, and it's not really generally a winning strategy. But to your point, you're right. I mean, if the house makes sense, payments make sense. It doesn't matter what the market's doing. Long term, it makes sense. It just does
Yeah,
every time.
just do it. Just do it, like Nike says. Okay, Rick, I think that's it for today. Do you have anything else to add?
No, we're good. Thank you. I think this is where the market's going, and I think this is where we'll be for some period of time. I think that what's going on with the war and the political environment right now, I think we're going to stay in this price range on rates for quite some time.
Looks
I
like
don't
it.
think
Hey,
it's a good strategy. Yeah.
I heard rumor, and this is cold turkey here. I'm slapping this on your face here. That the Fed says the rate's going to go up in September and December, and that's obviously the rate of not what mortgage rates are. But what do you have you heard anything about that?
No, there's not been a lot of talk, at least on my sources, talking about that. There's always going to be speculation. And I think, honestly, Megan, we're way too far ahead of that curve right now to really get that speculation. There's just too much that can happen between now and September, honestly.
Yeah.
I do think, though, that rates will stay pretty much in this price range, in the low to mid sixes, maybe high sixes, somewhere within 0.5% spread of that for the next 4 to 6 months. And I think we'll really wait and see what happens in the first quarter of next year. See where and here's what's going to drive that. When you see on the news where the price of oil keeps going up, the reality is that's not the best news for mortgage rates, because when you have those higher oil prices, that equates to higher gas prices and also equates to higher inflation. And this higher inflation, because the cost to deliver goods and services is now more expensive. So the price of oil is not really our friend in this regard. So I don't think there's a path in the next 3 months where that's going to take a big drop and everybody's down to 5% rates. It's just not going to happen. So I think we have to live with this market for a while. And by the way, it's a good market. You and I have a lot of history here. We can both agree that rates in the mid sixes is a great market. It just is.
Yeah.
I think we can live with that.
Yeah, the mid sixes. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right. Okay, I think that's it for now. I appreciate you. Thanks for this important topic today. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Megan. See you later.